Oh, so you gonna braid his hair, but when I ask you to braid my hair, hold on.
Wow, just as I started the recording.
Oh, fuck.
Welcome back to another installment of the High School Perspective. It's been a while. It's been probably about 2 to 3 months at this point. It's been a long time, but we're back. Today's topic is going to be back to school, but kinda. It's been a little bit weird. Everybody that I have here today are all seniors, including myself. The last video, I think it was still in the middle of summer. I don't think we'd officially started senior year then, so we're making this video now. So we have some pretty recognizable faces. Paul is back, Andrew's back, and Terry is back. Thank you guys. And yeah, how are you guys doing?
Tired.
Tired? Yeah, me too.
I thought Andrew was gonna go. I'm chilling.
I mean, yeah, nothing major. I mean, last video that I was on, I lived in Castro Valley. Now I live in SoCal, so that's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, if you want to, you can go ahead and explain that, by the way. If you guys don't notice, for those that watch all of these, Andrew has a different setup now. The walls color still the same, though.
Well, I moved, I think, around the beginning of August, and what's today, like the 11th? So I've been here for like a little over a month. But yeah, I mean, if you don't know that I've moved, then what's up? It's probably if this is the first time you're hearing about it, I from SoCal, and I miss you guys, and I'm gonna come visit. I don't know how often, but yeah, I miss the Bay Area. It was cool, but SoCal's pretty cool. Everyone's chill. Like no one's in a rush to do anything, and the traffic is way better. Yeah, y'all better come down to visit too.
When we get the chance, we are going to. All right, so like I was explaining earlier, school is now in session, but in obviously a different way. Two of us here, me and Paul, go to the same school, and obviously Andrew doesn't attend to that school anymore because he's in SoCal, and Terry doesn't attend our school either. So me and Paul go to CVHS, and if you guys would like to say where you guys go.
I go Skyline.
I go to San Marcos High.
Cool. Yep, everybody's pretty far from us now. It's weird, Paul. We're dwindling down to the last few people. All right, so let's just start off with the first question of the evening, and that is, what are your guys' expectations for senior year, even though it's already started? What did you, going into the year, did you have like an idea in your head of what was going to happen? Was it something that you had like for a long time? Did it happen over the summer?
Yeah, so expectations for senior year. Dude, I don't know. I didn't think I was going to have a lot of like homework or the pile of homework that I have now. It's a lot of work. And to average 4 to 5 hours of sleep every day is a struggle. And it's something you have to constantly do. Apart from that, like some goals I have or like whatever I want to accomplish, like senior year, just like get done with college jobs and, just try to enjoy the rest of high school after with everyone around me. And for sports-wise, well, whenever that comes, we'll be ready.
For school, I mean, the way we're doing it, I don't think San Diego County is on the watch list for COVID right now. And I think they said, like, if they really wanted to, we could start hybrid, like, right now. But they're not going to, like, just out of consideration for, like, the students. But I'm expecting us, like, to at least be in like have schooling in quarantine for at least like the second semester or until the start of the second semester. And I think like if we all handle it like well and we keep social distancing, everything like we've been doing or trying to do, I hope I'll be able to make some new friends before I go. And the campus is really nice and to my new school. And I really hope that I'll be able to enjoy like some of it before I go. But I'm also only taking 2 classes this second semester, so I'm kind of like finessing high school right now.
Still don't understand how that works.
I'm not complaining though. That's the thing. But yeah, like for the most part, I'm expecting senior year to really be a breeze, and so far it's nothing but that.
Oh shit. My high school expectations are like kind of going how I expected them to. Basically, I just have like a lot of time, which is like only for some weeks, because I'm not gonna lie, I do get it swamped in homework too sometimes. But for the most part, I think I'm able to do what I want now, since I'm not like stuck at school all day, and it's literally just like a few hours of my day in the beginning of my day at that. So I still have time for like a job and to hang out with friends and go places. But yeah, I mean, I stay in the house for the majority. If I'm not working or like chilling with my brothers, I'm pretty much in the house. So yeah, high school expectations are going exactly how I planned to, with a few surprises. But like, you know, surprises are always gonna happen. So
Of course. Yep, those are inevitable. I was going to just start by answering the expectations I had going into a normal, like what a normal senior year would be like, because that was obviously the expectation in the earlier years of high school, which is a little weird to say, I guess, because I guess it was kind of almost like predictable in a way, because we've had trouble in the past of having a regular homecoming. We've never had a regular homecoming at our school in all of our years of being high schoolers. We had smoke problems. We had like short weeks. We had like I think 2 years we had smoke, actually, because California is just fire hazards everywhere, and it's exactly the same this year. But we did not expect an entire virus to wipe out the entire world. Well, not wipe out the entire world, but make it not possible for most of the world to attend school like they normally would. So that sucks. I know I've talked about this in other videos before. Just saying like COVID is terrible, and it's gonna that you can't really predict what the future is gonna look like at this point. But as far as expectations go for the future of high school, I'm really hoping that we get a second semester in one way or another, whether it be hybrid or actually going back to normal at some point. I don't expect it to be in the first semester. I don't think any of us do at this point, honestly. But we're looking forward to the best. Yeah, senior year, man. That's it's a big one. It's the last year that we're basically all going to be together in the district. That is the people that have stuck with us through most of middle school, all of high school. The kids that growing up. So you want to go out with a bang, obviously, but in a scenario like this, it's going to be a little bit harder. But we're going to make the best of it. Yeah. So moving away from junior year and moving away from the previous years, I'll get to the previous years later because I do have stuff about that. But junior year was the year of homework, I guess a lot of people would like to say. One of the hardest years of high school, I think, or I guess most notorious, as others might think of it as. And senior year is said to be like this breeze of high school. It's your last year. You don't really have to worry about anything. So what were your guys' biggest takeaways from junior year? What did you learn? And then, what kind of experience are you taking from junior year that you're going to, I guess, use to help you through your senior year?
I'll start us off for this one. I think junior year, or what I take from junior year mostly, is priorities. How to prioritize things. That was the biggest thing for me junior year, because I went through a lot junior year. Didn't have the best junior year, but I didn't have the worst. I think junior year was probably second favorite. Sophomore year was really fun for me, but junior year, it was okay, I guess. At the end of the day, all I'm really taking away from junior year is priorities, because that's I was big, and it like set you up before like senior year. So
yeah.
My biggest takeaway from my junior year was that I don't think you I don't think like you really need a big circle of friends to get by. And I know like I kind of like solidified like my close friend group like earlier in sophomore year, but I still think there was a part of me that kind of wanted to be like that guy that was like cool with everyone. But I think like going into junior year, like I don't know, like I kind of learned that some people aren't able to like value trust like as high as other people might, and that it's not like it's a bad thing to have a lot of friends. I just felt like for me personally, like I usually do better when like I'm myself to like a select few, or like the few that I know like will treat me like how they want to be treated. Like, I don't want to sound like cliche, but like like at the end of the day, you don't want someone that's going to treat you like they're better than you. Like that was, I don't know, like that's just a bad friend. But I don't. Yeah, I think that was probably my biggest takeaway. Like, don't try to don't try to be like everything to like everybody.
Yeah, so like Terry said, like priorities, and I think procrastination also falls into like that category, like the intertwine. But procrastination was like something I learned I shouldn't do a lot, and it was something that was like really, really influential, like in my work junior year, and kind of slowed me down. But learning from that, going into like senior year, now I can like learn not to like procrastinate and like prioritize my work better, so I can get things done faster and efficiently. Yeah, that'd be all.
There are, I think, things that there's a lot of things that I feel like are unteachable in high school, but that you do learn through prior years and just experience going through those years. And junior year, I think, is probably the biggest one. You probably, for those that have been through junior year, that's probably the year that you fail the most. That's probably the hardest year for you mentally. And learning from that, and I guess going into a new year, like senior year, or even beyond that, um, it feels like you're kind of coming out of the weeds, I guess. So if there was something, I guess, I would say about junior year, it's almost like a metaphor. If you can get through the bad times, but you have like an end goal and an end sight, you're going to get through it. Like one way or another, it's going to happen. I don't have specific takeaways, I guess, from junior year. I would just say there is a lot that happens junior year. I think it depends on the person, but even then, everybody has different things that they deal with in life, and they're going to have different things that are difficult for them. So, but as long as you have the insight and people along the way to help you, whether it's a parent, a guidance counselor, or just your friends, or someone, have confidence in yourself that you'll be able to do it. And that is my biggest takeaway from junior year. So I'm going to go back to senior year now, because that's kind of like a lead-in a way based off of my answer. I talked a lot about like kind of seeing like the end goal at the end of junior year, and that end goal being getting to senior year. So my question is, do you guys have any goals going into this year? And I think that this is kind of a broad question. So I'm just going to go ahead and start just as an example. I'm the president of 2 clubs this year. One being the Ultimate Frisbee Club, which I've talked about many times, and I probably will again at some point. And I'm starting a new club this year called the Broadcast Club. Now, Ultimate, I've talked about it in a different video. It's nothing like, extremely valuable to the school. But it's definitely something that I prioritize as a leader and as president of the club. I obviously want to make sure it's going to do the best that it can. This year, it's going to be difficult because we obviously can't go outside to play Ultimate Frisbee. But there are, ways I think that, I'm hopefully going to be able to strategize with my fellow officers in, leading our club down the right path, so that hopefully we can maybe not play Ultimate, but still be engaging to an audience at our school. As far as the broadcast club goes, there is a lot of trial and error that I know that's going to come from it. I'm going to give you a little bit of background, first of all. My goal for the club, obviously we're not going to have regular fall sports this year. Football was postponed until beginning of winter, so like January, I guess midwinter. And then all winter and spring sports are postponed as well, which is it's a pretty seismic change. So my goal was that, you know, hopefully there'd be some way to live stream school sporting events and other in-school events that maybe students would be not necessarily be able to attend, but be able to watch through a screen on their phone. Like, how cool would that be? I ran through a few ideas of club names in my head, like ESPN Club was one of them, because obviously ESPN, big sports company. But yeah, the broadcast club, it's going to be something, I really hope it's going to be something special. That's a goal that I have, just to make it so that sports are still a big thing at our school, but, you know, not literally physically big. Pause on that.
Goals. Honestly, I just want to finish high school. Like, I want to hurry up and finish high school because honestly, it's kind of in the way of my, like, I mean, it's not in the way because it's obviously a need for me to, like, you know, be able to do better things in life. But, like, honestly, right now, high school is nothing really to me. Like, it's literally just a door that I have to figure out, you know, which key to use. It's like shortened and it's more, and it's just a lot. So I want to finish high school, and I want to make money. That's literally it. I just want to finish high school and make money. I want to travel, but like with the stuff going on right now, I don't know. Might have to wait. But yeah.
I have like any concrete goals or like anything. I mean, like maybe the closest thing to that would be like maybe to find a job. But I feel like I want to get like the most, like with whatever circumstances we're in, I want to try to get like as much experience as I can of like the real world as like I possibly can before like I actually go out there. Like, you know, whether that be like applying for a job. Like I've never had a job before. I mean, like not like a like you get paid by the hour like kind of job. Like you know what I'm saying? Like just one where like you have to apply and then hope that you get hired and you know all that. But I also want to like I need to still learn how to drive. I've been putting that off forever. Now it's gonna make a bite. I literally told myself like I was gonna do it, and then COVID happened, and then I moved, and now like I think we're just gonna wait till I'm 18 because it's coming up.
I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah, like it's
Not the move. Not the move.
bro. Like it'd just be a waste of like $400.
It won't matter. It's already past my half birthday anyway, so like the whole 6-month thing, it won't matter.
I want to learn how like taxes work. I want to learn how to vote. There's a lot of adult things. I mean, that's pretty broad, but I think you guys like kind of know what I'm saying. Like, try to get as much experience with like the real world as like I can before like I'm actually an adult. It's coming up, and
It is, yeah.
I'm about to be 18 soon. Dude.
I feel like 18 is like half adult.
Yeah, so I mean, like some goals I've had. I mean, number one is to just finish college apps. I think that's like the big part for me at least, is to get through that phase of finishing college apps. And then after that, another goal I had was getting a job. I think, like Andrew said, like getting a job is like getting experience in like the real world, and you know, you don't want to go like out of high school and not like have job experience and not know what you're doing in a way, and I have like skills to offer if you're being asked to offer those skills. Apart from that, some other goals I had, like I was talking to Will last time, I'm trying to start this like sort of organization that helps like impoverished communities across like the world in like remote areas, whether it's in like Southeastern Asia or just Africa in general. So that's like one of the like some of the projects I have for later on. What else? Right now, I'm just because I didn't take like some classes that I wanted to take this year. So some of the things I've been doing is like kind of teach myself those things because I'm a slow learner in a way. So I mean, just teaching myself helps. And I don't know, just the rest is just try to have fun, just get as much fun as possible, I guess. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Let's just hope all those goals are going to be attainable because, like I said earlier, it is a weird year, and some of these goals, I don't know, like I'm not like obviously like shutting them down. It's just like this year is just awful, and that's basically leading into my next question. My next thing is, the year has been awful, and going into the actual school year is going to be even or it's worse just because you have more responsibility now than you would over the summer, of course, and you didn't really have to worry about as much over the summer. What makes this year so much more different than any previous years of high school? Like, there's the obvious ones, of course, but then there's maybe some subtle things in between the lines that people might not know about. I'll just go ahead and start. So there's this thing called Google Classroom, and it has been used a lot more frequently. And is that a good thing? Sure, because that now you have a place where you can go to instead of having to write down all your homework and looking at your to-do list of what to do. But in a lot of ways, it's weird. It's a weird adjustment. Like myself, I'm fine with technology and like how it is. That's literally I just sit at a computer all day and type on the keyboard. That's literally all I do. I'm good. But it's weird picking up a pencil for the first time in so long. And I don't even do it that regularly anymore for school just because of how much typing there is for classes. So there's a lot of Zoom meets. There's a lot of Google meets. It's just those are I think the minor things that make this year so much different. But I think the bigger things come from the overall communication that we don't really get to have with our teachers. That's been really difficult. And it's been difficult, one, because of, people just cut out all the time. And, there's just emails being sent back and forth. You don't know when they're going to answer them or something like that. But it's also just, I think being in person, there's going to be a different kind of connection. I know sometimes teachers pick favorites. I don't think that's happening this year because we don't really know each other. And breakout rooms are the worst because you don't really get to meet the other people because everybody's just awkward and silent. So that's what makes this year so much different for me. I feel like it's the same for a lot of other people. I really hope it gets better.
Yeah. I feel like the hardest thing for me is being around my parents more because it's like they're constantly down my back, and it's just making me realize like more and more that I could not live with them after high school. And that's honestly like kind of taking it back to goals. That's what pushes me to make money so I can like figure out how to get out of there because I cannot. Holy shit. But yeah, I feel like that's the biggest weird thing for me. Obviously, the whole like kind of no friends. If you didn't like, I feel bad if you didn't have friends before this, because like I don't think you're gonna make friends, or it's gonna be very hard. Like I feel bad for my little brother, because it's just like, damn, he's a freshman coming into high school, and he's not really getting the high school experience. But I feel like their generation has always been messed up anyway, so it's like the norm for them. But yeah, definitely parents. Being around parents is the hardest thing.
Dude, I think the hardest thing for me, I mean, if it wasn't kind of obvious already, like I literally know like no one at my new school, and like it's just super weird like having to talk to people I've never heard of. I mean, I've had a decent conversation with like a couple of the kids, maybe like some of the teachers, but in my whole life, like I've really only ever been like the new kid, like maybe one time, and that was in elementary school, and it was like before I became like really good at like being social and talking to people. Like I feel like kind of the same now. Like honestly, like I try like like I'll if the breakout rooms are like really awkward, right? Like everyone doesn't want to talk. Like I'll usually be the one who like says like hello, like is anyone there, and then everyone's going. And like I've told a couple of the kids like that I'm new here, and like I think in my gov class, like we have these breakout rooms that we're gonna be in for the rest of the semester, and like it's me, this dude named Brian, and the girl named Ashlyn, and I'm named Caitlin, and yeah, like, I don't want to be racist, but like everyone at San Marcos is like white or Mexican, and like it kind of hurts like to see like the same names. Like there's so many Garcias. Like, like I mean I don't blame them. Like Garcia is like one of the most common like last names like for any of the team. Like, I don't really mind it, but it's just funny. Like I mean in Castro Valley like it was like mostly white and Asian. Like that's what I saw at least. Like there's a couple black people. There's a decent amount actually. Castro Valley is pretty diverse, but yeah, I mean the the change in like what races I'm used to seeing. Dude, okay. Do you mind if I like go on a little like just not that long, but like a little story time? So
Yeah, go for it.
so I live on the same street as my high school, so like if I really wanted to, like I could walk to school like whenever that happens. So there's this right next to the school. There's a little there's a bunch of little shops, and like in front of those little shops, there's this white couple, like they're a little older, maybe like 50, 60, and they always have a tent set up, and they have all this like Trump merch that like you see in yeah, and like it kind of reminded me of like you guys know like if you guys are in like East Oakland or like in the streets and you see like these tents that like have like the people trying to sell like fake Warriors merch or fake A's merch, like it's kind of like that. So it kind of makes me laugh seeing like Trump 2020 and like there's a bunch of I don't even know. They have flags, shirts, I think cups.
Wow.
And it's definitely like a little more Trump country out there than it is like in the Bay Area. So it's kind of weird, but you know, it's pretty funny, like just seeing that. But yeah, I think the biggest change was just how what races I saw, and like yeah.
Okay, so we were just talking about some of the challenges that we have in high school, and you know why those challenges make this year so much different from the previous years of high school. So, moving away from my more negative topic, I want to know what you guys. Well, I guess there are probably less hopes this year than there are challenges, if that makes sense. There's less that. How do I word this? It's almost as if there's more bad stuff that happens, but the good stuff can almost make up for it, but it's like not as much. So what is one thing that you hope happens at some point in the year?
Is that one hope or like something we hope that happens?
Yeah, something you hope for, Paul.
Oh, okay, shut up. I hope I hope that by around October or November, the virus, like the cure, or comes out. Because I mean, when I was reading the New York Times magazine, they were talking about how these two companies, I forgot the names, but how they are at the end of the trials already, and they might release like the treatment next around October or November. But yeah, so I mean that's one thing I hope for.
I don't really want that too. Like I'm tired of being inside like all the time, not being able to see anyone. I mean, I've seen like a couple people, but that was really it. But yeah, I hope the virus calms down just for the sake of our senior year, and that we'll be able to get to enjoy it. And I know it's kind of like karma, because we kind of made fun of all the seniors for like not being having to graduate like over Roblox or something. Like wasn't there like a Minecraft prom like at a SCB?
I failed.
They did.
Yeah, okay.
I never heard
was a,
of that. But yeah, like I'm tired of like hearing virtual like before everything. Like I just want to go back to normal again. And yeah, like I'd have to agree with Paul on that. But what else? Dude, it'd be cool if I got to go back to school like for at least a second semester. Because if I'm only taking 2 classes and then dipping, like that's gonna be cool. But yeah, like that's probably the biggest thing. Like COVID needs to calm down.
Biggest thing for me, I feel like during the quarantine, I've seen a lot more money than I ever have, like ever. And I'm not saying that to just be like repetitive or anything, but like honestly, the only thing I really want right now is just money. So yeah, I have a certain sum that I would like to acquire in 3 weeks, and hopefully I can do it. I'm not gonna say the sum because I don't want people in my pockets, but yeah, stay tuned for a lot of designer brand things. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah,
Robin,
not, nah. But yeah, honestly, that's pretty much it. I just want money.
okay. So I think there's a few ways that I can go about this question. So one of the hopes that I have for this year is obviously that we get to go back. I think that's a given. I think that's been said probably about 5 to 10 times during this video. Let's talk about the littler things. I hope that I get to see some friends. Not all people, but like some people. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of little things that I want to happen that obviously can't happen right now. I want the smoke to go away. I want to be able to see friends. I want to be able to go outside again without having to worry about getting a virus. I hope that masks go out of fashion when this is all done, because I know that everybody's been on the mask bandwagon, getting the most expensive, useless, just priciest like mask ever, and that's all brands are making money off of now.
I feel like they're coming for me.
Yeah, you see every influencer doing it. I don't know. It's just the worst. I really, really hope that sports get back to normal and that there's these huge crowds of people just screaming for their teams. I think that's something. Football just started this past Sunday. I don't know when I'm going to upload this video. Football, I'm sorry, it's just started this past Thursday. And it's crazy that we've come so far from the other football season, the one last year, and that we're still able to have it in some way this year. I think only a couple of stadiums are having actual a few fans in attendance, obviously for safety regulations. But I'm really hoping that we get back to those roaring stadiums, because this team right here and that team right there, and there's some Warriors posters up there. I know the Bay is going to be rooting hard for them. So the little things matter. I want a lot to happen, and I'm not going to jinx anything. So moving on. You see a lot of different types of people in high school, and a lot of times they happen to be the same kind of reoccurring people, maybe, that you have in different classes. Maybe one is like the sleeper that doesn't do any homework. Maybe one is the guy that does all the homework, but he waits till the last minute and then he sleeps in class. What are a few high schooler stereotypes that are reoccurring or not reoccurring that you'd like to share?
like that one kid that has class and like you're on Zoom, right? But he's really tired. So all he has to do is just turn the camera off and just sleep and just screen record lesson.
make sure they get their good morning and then goodbye in, but I be sleep like the whole class. I don't even screen record, like, I just be, cause like, well, for all the days, I don't, like, just a little backstory or whatever, like, some context. I be waking up at 4 a.m. to work out and do homework, and then if I don't fall asleep, then I'll, like, go through my class perfectly fine. But if I take a nap before that class, I'm literally just gonna log in on my phone, go back to sleep, make sure I get my good morning and goodbye so they know or they think I was here. But yeah, no, I be slumped because no. And y'all start class at 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start class at 9. That's a whole hour earlier. It just like it throws off everything. So yeah, I definitely am the person who you won't see unless like I'm up for it.
I'm starting to see a lot more teachers that are trying way too hard to be funny. And it's getting so bad. Like I think I take honors sociology and philosophy is one of my classes, and it's two teachers. Like it's a joint like Zoom class. It's like 80 people, and then the two teachers are like putting memes on the screen, like 2011 type memes. They're like making gamer jokes, or like one of them has like a gamer headset, and they're like, Miss Alderton, I think you need to put on your gamer headphones. We can't hear you. And then we're just like,
506, going dark. No.
yeah, like I don't know. Like at CV, there's a couple. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but like,
That one teacher with like the huge ears. What was his name? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about too. That's the funny part. I forgot his name though. I feel you. I feel
yeah.
you.
But I think if you're a teacher, like just do your job. Like I mean, you're allowed to be cool with the kids, but if you're like
Damn.
if you're gonna be funny, then like be funny. Like don't try to make you're
If
like
you're homeless, buy a house. Like,
Oh no. I was gonna I actually didn't have anything going into this question. I was hoping that by you guys starting, I would get some ideas. I actually something that somebody said I forgot, but it got me thinking. And this is not a student stereotype nor a teacher stereotype, but this is a parent stereotype. Especially for this year, especially, dude, there are some parents that'll be like they'll be like logging on to like the Zoom or something. And there are so many technical things that happen to go wrong every single time. Like, I'm not going to call anybody out. But oh my God, there was this one time. Their camera wasn't on, and their camera had to be on for the back to school night. And they were like, "Will, come help." And I was like, "Oh." Yeah, and I ran downstairs. Ran back upstairs. Everything was fine. Next class, it was not a Zoom. It was a Google Meet. And now they didn't have their camera on, and they were muted at the same time. So I had to run downstairs. It was and again the Will, and then I hauled ass downstairs, turned on the mic, and then or actually I think what it was is that the mic was on, and you're not supposed to have your mic on because the teacher's presenting. So turned the mic off, turned the camera off. So it was things like that, and there have been things like this that happen. I think in every single class this year, it's either a student or a teacher, and for some reason they don't have their camera. I feel like that's just a really bad excuse to just not be on the camera for whatever reason. Let me see. Can I think of any other high school stereotypes? I feel like there's always the one kid that has the rolling backpack. I think that's just a given. Like it's just some school everywhere. There's always a kid with a rolling backpack, and there's always the sprinter, the guy who runs like to every class and just across the campus. That guy's funny. There's always a guy that. So we have a quad at the high school. I'm pretty sure a lot of high schools have just like a big open area. Ours is called the quad. There's always someone that for some reason just like during lunch or break or something just sits down in the middle of the quad and like no one knows why. And everybody just kind of watches them like, what are they doing? People like that make me laugh. I don't know what they're thinking or what they're doing exactly, but I love all those kinds of people. And then there's obviously the whole like band kid stereotypes too, which always go a long way.
The rapper.
The what?
The rapper.
The rapper. Yeah. Oh my God. I saw this on TikTok. There's always the one, and this is very specific. There's always the one guy blasting music, wearing shades, with a backwards cap on, with a disco ball in his backpack, walking around the school. Paul's face.
Okay, whoever's like the girls that are watching it are probably like gonna laugh or get mad. I don't care. But there's always
Great intro.
listen. There's always the girls that like gets a bunch of balloons, gets all fitted. They have a big birthday sign and like a big bag with some gift. Like they let the entire school know that it's their birthday. And like maybe it's just me because I don't really take birthdays like that serious. Like if like my homies know it's my birthday and they wish me happy birthday, like that's cool. Like that's all I really want. But I don't know. Like I just think it's funny that like they go all out like that. Like nothing against it. It's just like a stereotype that like I noticed. Like
Yeah. And then it's really funny when they're trying to take a picture, like for the gram or something, and then it flips the camera so it looks like 61 instead of 16. Or one of the balloons flies away. That's always a good one. So then there's 6. So, all right. So that's most of the stereotypes that we can think of in the moment. Last one. You got to listen up for this one because I had an idea, and it was kind of a weird idea, but I think I got it now. So there are 4 different types of grades in high school, right? You have your seniors, your juniors, your sophomores, and your freshmen. I don't know why I went backwards. Just, don't judge. And we have all been in some part of each one. I mean, we barely are seniors now, but we still are seniors. So this last question / statement is going to be split into 4 different parts. So what I want you guys to do, I'm number 1, okay? So I want you guys to choose numbers between 2 and 4. Everybody has to be different. Andrew, you want 2?
we can go on like 2, 3, 4. Is like am I second?
Yeah, so oh yeah, you got it. So
1, 2, 3, 4.
okay, so this is why I chose the numbers thing, okay? Because I wanted it to be a little bit of a surprise. Because if I mentioned the actual thing, maybe somebody would have really wanted something, and we could have had an outbreak or whatever. Each number represents a grade in high school. So 1 is freshmen, 2 is sophomores, 3 is juniors, and 4 are the seniors. What I want you guys to do is, given that you've been through high school, or not all the way through high school, but through most of the years, I want you guys to give the best advice that you can for somebody coming into that year. Now, this can, range anywhere from your personal experience to just general advice. Tell it how it is. And then, who is seniors? Terry, is that you?
Yeah, I'm a senior.
Okay, so I bet you're going to be talking for the seniors.
Yeah, no, I'm talking for the seniors too, though. 4.
Okay, so you're going to bring it home. All right, you're going to be last, and just give your advice, give advice for the seniors, based on how your year started and where you expect to go in your season. Yeah. Okay, so I have the freshmen, and the reason I wanted the freshmen, I'm going to start. The reason I wanted the freshmen is because I'm a link crew leader this year, which is basically you help the little kids with their orientation and you help them kind of, get fitted into the high school. Didn't really work out this year, but all right, freshmen. I doubt any freshman is going to watch this. I'm going to really try to get freshmen to watch it. Okay, it's your first year of high school. You expect to come into this big place, meet tons of new people, and it all just gets shut down like that. What the hell do you do? Sorry, I'm sure you guys are all 13, haven't heard that kind of talk before. So it's your first year of high school. It's gonna be rough, honestly. Like there's so much that happens in high school that you are not prepared for at all. Like I look so much different than I did my freshman year, like just physically, and even like my personality. I feel like has changed a bit. High school is all about finding your interests. Don't necessarily worry. I mean, I know I say this all the time. Um, Obviously, you want to worry about the grades, but don't worry that much about the grades. The grades matter, but finding your interest in high school is what's gonna, just rocket you into the real world. So if I'm to give any other kind of advice, be yourself. Don't let anybody tell you who you can be and who you want to be. It should all be your decision. Don't let anybody stomp on your ideas of what it means to be successful, because I've found that out in my years. A lot of the things that I saw as hobbies in my earlier life, I now see as possible career opportunities. And I'm really thankful for that. And it's basically just how the school has shaped me and how my friends have shaped me. Family as well. But the other two things I think factor in a bit more. So really, yeah, just be yourself. Don't take anything for granted, because there's a lot in high school that happens that you're gonna regret, and that you're gonna regret for many reasons. So, be grateful for everything. Do your best. Do the homework. Don't copy other homework. I know it's gonna happen at some point, but just don't copy it that much. And good luck in your next 4 years.
Well said, Will. I like that. Okay, so it's my turn, I guess. And sophomore year is probably the prime of my high school years. I'm being honest. I mean, I don't know how senior year is gonna go, but sophomore year was pretty fun. But I think sophomore year is probably when you want to start like challenging yourself. Maybe like, I don't know if in terms of work ethic, I think like just finding something to challenge yourself in. It could be sports, it could be a club, it could be school if you're good at that. But I think like after freshman year, you've kind of had time to like adjust to the new like high school environment. Like I mean, obviously it's online and like you're not going to be able to experience like sophomore year like that. But I think it's cool that you were able to get like 1 year in, and then you still got to do some of your sophomore year online. But I think like it's pretty like it make the most out of like you're like how like young you are, because I can guarantee like all four of us here, like there's some days where we wish we could just go back to like freshman or sophomore year and like kind of, I don't know about redo like some. I mean, I definitely have a lot of things I regret from high school, but at the end of the day, like make the most out of what you have. Like you're gonna be wishing you had these days like pretty soon. Like I remember I was on TikTok, and like I remember I follow this account called like Daily Dose of Nostalgia, and like I saw this video that like really brought me back to like middle school, or like just like maybe 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. And it was a video like like those, I think it was a trend like at the start of 2020, and like, oh my god, guys, like we're actually gonna be like adults now, and like let's take a trip down memory lane. And like I remember seeing like Smosh, Gravity Falls, the iPhone 5, Roblox, like Minecraft when it was first popular. Like, dude, I so wish like I could just go back to those days again. And like I don't know why we were in such a rush to like grow up and become an adult. Like that was really like those are like some of the best years of my life. And like sophomore year, maybe like beginning of high school was like when I finally started to realize like I'm not a kid anymore, and like I'm gonna start making like decisions that are gonna be like affecting my future. That happens even before you turn like 18, when you're technically an adult. Like, yeah, if I were to sum it up, just make the most out of the days you got. like Will said, don't take it for granted. I really like that point you made. But yeah. But at the same time though, like don't just like slack off in school. I would encourage you to work hard in school, even if like you're not really like the best at it. I know I'm not the best at school, but like I feel like I still try, and that's why like I do well, well enough. But yeah, like you'll figure it out. Like you got it. You got it, little sophomores. All right, that's it for me.
All right, Paul, dig deep.
It's a lot of pressure. So incoming juniors, present juniors. Junior year might seem stressful. A lot of people say so, but I think it's more about like how you take it in and how you make use of your junior year. So what I would say is the first thing you want to be is like be organized and have like goals that you want, like that you set throughout the year. Because I mean, if you don't have any goals, there is no way you will get through junior year. Trust me. So yeah, the most important thing is set goals for yourself, and I think that would push you like a lot harder to like get where you want to get, where you want to be. Um, Try to have fun. Like I think I can't stress this enough because like as juniors, like you have all these people saying, "Oh, like no, I'm gonna do homework for like 8 hours, 9 hours." Like that's just you can't learn that way. I feel like you need a balance of both, like fun and school. And I feel like if you can achieve that and have that balance, I think that would be a lot more easier on you, a lot less stressful. So I mean, try to have a lot of fun, lots of fun, and whatever skills you guys have, whatever activity you guys do, try to like really like push yourself within those. Because I mean, like once you get to like senior year, those things are what like they're going to be what portray yourself as like colleges and like whatever work or and so on. But I mean, junior year is not easy, but it's not the hardest. It's more about how you make use of it. That's all I'll say. And try to have fun. Take it one day at a time. Have a great year.
That was fun.
All right, Terry, bring us home.
Y'all bring it home. Seniors, what's up? Just a little disclaimer before I start. I feel like you should take what I say with like, you should just take it and like see what you can make of it. Cause I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I wasn't like the calm kid in high school. I always didn't take. Oh, I'm not gonna. Like I didn't have 4 APs and 4.0 or 4.5 GPA and all that. Like I was never really calm about high school because honestly, I never really thought like college was real just for the person I am. I do think that now though, and that's based off junior year, a lot of self growth I went through. But yeah, I just want to say for you seniors now, try to do with what you have. Make do with what you have. And what I mean by that is like, don't take anything for granted and really think about things and really try to find yourself as a person because honestly after high school I feel like just based off people I see in my life the real world is like way different. Like honestly you'll think back and look back, a lot of stuff you did in high school was so childish and like just not, it didn't need to happen. So I say make the best of everything and try to just focus on priorities. Again repetitive priorities is going to be a big thing for you, and you really need to figure out what you want to do because like if you go into with no plan or like going to the next step with no plan, I don't I mean I hope the best for you, but like I feel like having a plan is just better because you have something to follow. And don't just have one, make multiple because it's always good to have something to fall back on. And whatever you do, make sure you're absolute, because you do not want to regret or have resentment towards anything. It's the worst. And yeah, mostly just don't forget to have fun. That's what I'm doing because like but that's you got to take that with like a grain of salt because, I'm not comp about college and all that. I feel like I'm different from these three here. And that's like not to say, oh, I'm better or I'm like worse. It's just like we live different lives. We came from different backgrounds and we see things differently. But we all get along still and we all understand each other. So, I don't know. I feel like senior year is the year where stuff gets real, so to speak. So, you just have to get real too, Yeah, that's all I'm thinking.
Also, adding on for like one more thing for juniors,
Yeah.
like try to be creative. I think creativity is like it's a huge part of junior year, and if you're creative, it brings you like so much more like I don't know range in whatever you want to do. And like Terry said, he was talking about like just try to be creative. And like he was talking about like grades, you might be like influenced or feel like below other people. People have 4.0 GPAs and you're just there. Like it doesn't matter as long as you know exactly what you want to do and how you want to do it. At the end of the day, like grades are one thing, but if you don't have creativity or like the urge to like be good in what you do best, at the end it doesn't matter. Because I mean, grades are just one thing, but creativity is a lot more in life. Yeah, that's it.
Sure, yeah. Also, I'm gonna add too, because like he just brought out some good stuff.
Yeah.
With the whole priorities thing, take classes you need. Like when you start making that plan, don't take classes you don't need, because you're definitely gonna regret it. Because I'm taking a class that I really just don't need right now, but like GPA boost, you kind of need that. But I don't know. Take classes you're gonna be happy with, and take classes that's gonna help you towards your goal. In game, in life, whatever. Because that's also important. And as hard as tongue twister. And as hard as it is now, at least find two or one good friend you can talk to, because it always helps to have somebody you can talk to. Because doing it on your own, sure, it's a flag, sure, it's good, but like honestly, it's just funner with more people. I don't really know anybody who likes to be just totally to themselves alone like that. It's always good to have somebody to like connect with or confide in sometimes. So just make sure you at least have one or two good friends as seniors that you can like talk to even after high school.
Build connections.
Well said, everyone. Really well said. All right. Well, that was the last question for this video. I don't know how I did. I think I did okay. It's been a really long time since I've done this, so just bear with me, and probably a lot of mistakes in this video. These guys were great. But yeah, this video is super fun to make. I think we got a lot off our chest that didn't really bring us like any anger or anything, but just stuff that needed to be said, especially at a time like this. Going back to school now is obviously very weird, but we're able to cope with it in one way or another, and this video is another way which we're able to express those feelings. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Hopefully this was cool for you guys. It was cool for me. I obviously plan to have you guys back on at some point later in the year. Anything else that you guys wanted to add?
Have a great year.
Stay safe. Get your bag up.
For real though.
Only thing that matters. Money is everything. Nah, but seriously, have fun, guys. Don't
be happy, too.
Yes, please be happy.
Yeah, because like school, it's not everything. Calm down.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Do the outro, Will.
I don't have an outro.
Let me do it.
Yeah, go on.
All right, and we'll get back to you.
All right.
Actually, that was pretty good. Though. If you think it's like an awkward outro.